Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my basement in the great state of Kansas. In this video, I'm continuing my top 100 favorite albums series. This time, I am doing number 38 on my list, which is Chaos and Creation in the Backyard by the Sir Paul McCartney. Obviously, one of my favorite artists of all time. So stay tuned to see my thoughts here on this album on here, Jason the Old Millennial. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well here on a Thursday evening. I'm back here. I'm talking again about some of my favorite albums of all time at this point. And of course, my growth of knowledge and my love of different albums are growing. So it's going to be probably changing after I do this top 100 videos. But when I made this list maybe a year or two ago, this is where it was. So I'm sticking with the list for now. Though I'm sure in the future I'm going to have to do another video doing maybe my top 100, but not doing it one at a time. But anyways, right now I'm at number 38 on my list, so top 40 favorite albums. And I got another album from Paul McCartney, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. Came out in 2005. It's his 13th studio album, so I mean, he's done quite a lot of albums at this point. He's getting along there. He's getting a little bit older at this point in 2005. I mean, not super old, of course, because he's still going here in 2022. He just turned 80. But yeah, I mean, obviously Paul McCartney is kind of not in the prime of his popularity anymore, but he's still putting out such great work at this time. Like I said, some of my favorite music from him has been in the late 90s or mid 90s into the 2000s. Have been some really great albums, I think. In fact, I think this is such a great run. This comes off right after Flaming Pie, another album that's in my top 100, of course. Really great album. I did a ranking of each song on Adam's channel with the gym a couple months ago. We had a good time, and it was fun going back to that album and re-listen to it. And yeah, I felt like Flame Pie was like almost like this new life for Paul McCartney. Like after listening to the album, I was like, man, that is such a good album. Like Paul McCartney still has it even now into his 50s or whatever. And like this guy's not slowing down. Still putting out some of the best music out there. Anyway, so Flame Pie was such a great, discovery almost. I don't know what to say. That was like, wow, like I was so excited. Anytime Paul McCartney put something out, I'm just so excited for it because I'm like, I know what he's capable of. Anyway, so this is the follow-up, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. And man, what a great follow-up. I have this even higher than Flaming Pie. Even though going back to Flaming Pie, like it definitely like it has my favorite song from Paul McCartney on that album. Calico Skies, like absolutely amazing song, one of my favorite songs of all time. So definitely the highs of Flaming Pie I think are maybe better than Chaos and Creation, but I think Chaos and Creation in the Backyard is just such a consistent album. Every song is good to great. I mean, it's just I can listen to the whole album, don't skip a song, just enjoy all of it. Flaming Pie has a couple songs that I skip that I don't think are very good, and so that's why I have it higher than Flaming Pie because of the consistency of the album as a whole. It's an interesting album. Paul McCartney pretty much plays all of his own instruments in it in the studio. Of course, he writes all the songs. Obviously, he plays the bass guitar, but also plays acoustic guitar, electric guitar, of course, piano, keyboards, and also does some drumming. He also can do some drumming. So there, it says almost every instrument. So evidently, there's probably a couple of instruments like orchestra music and stuff, horns maybe that are in here that isn't him, but for the most part, I mean, he's playing all the instruments, which to me is absolutely incredible. What incredible talent Paul McCartney is, to be that talented at so many different instruments, plus being a great songwriter, great singer. I mean, he's just got it all. Definitely my favorite post-Beatles artist, in my opinion. Obviously, and he was in the Beatles, and the Beatles is my favorite band of all time. So, yeah, so a huge Paul McCartney fan. A huge fan of this album. It's definitely like very a lot of piano driven songs. I think a lot of acoustic driven songs. I think that's why I like it so much. I don't think there's really a rock song in here. There's some upbeat songs that are a little more fast paced, and I haven't shown my album. I showed this before on my new media pickups. But there's the album. Love the album cover. It's like an old picture that Paul McCartney's brother took of him, sitting in the backyard playing his acoustic guitar. So I love this picture, this black and white picture of a young Paul McCartney playing music. But yeah, side. There's what it looks like in front there in the book. Anyways, but yeah, there's some upbeat songs on piano maybe, but I wouldn't call them any rock songs. They're all more softer pop songs, I would say, to almost folk style songs. And I really like that. I love his piano work, and his acoustic guitar work is just absolutely amazing. And every song I think is really good in this album. Yeah, 13 songs in total. You start with Fine Line. Fine Line is the first single off of here. Went number 20 in the UK. It's the opening track of the record, and it's a great opener to the. It's definitely one that's more upbeat. It's a really good upbeat piano piece. That's really fun. Really fun song. Really well paced. Anyways, and so it starts the album just really great. He only had two singles coming off of here. The second single was called Jenny Wren, which went number 22 in the UK. So, I mean, they're not like huge hits, like I say, but still very good songs on here. But, I mean, it's so many good songs. Friends to Go, I believe, is a song they said that was inspired by George Harrison. That, I don't know, when he wrote it and we started playing it, he just thought of George Harrison or something. So, he was kind of contributed that to George Harrison. English Tea on here is a really fun song. It's about English, you know, as I'm an American, but as I understand, my English friends on YouTube can back me up on it. But people from England, they really love their tea, and it's a big cultural thing for them. You have your tea breaks and all that. Anyway, so it's kind of an interesting song because it's kind of starts as this whole, you know, Paul McCartney, I've seen him in interviews call it, you know, it's not tea, it's English tea. It's different than just regular tea because people from England, they're very particular about how to do their tea. Like, it has to be done a certain way, I believe. They have, yeah, very specific things. Well, in America, I don't think we really think of it that much. Like, I'm not a big tea drinker myself. And if I'm drinking tea, it's probably like iced tea or something like that. But anyways, I don't really drink hot tea. Anyways, but it's a really great song with really great orchestra music and great piano in it. Anyways, Too Much Rain. Really nice, great vocals on that one. Kind of a nice inspirational song, in fact. I really enjoy. Follow Me, another great acoustic guitar song. This Never Happened Before. Amazing song with great orchestra music. Very catchy. And then ending it with Anyway, another really great, epic, like, piano song. Really showcases his talent. Anyway, so yeah, it's an excellent, excellent album, I guess. If you like Paul McCartney, it's a must, along with Flaming Pie. I mean, this is such a great run of albums with Paul, going from Flaming Pie to Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. Then the very next album is Memory Almost Full, that I already talked about on my top 100 favorite albums. And then New, which also made my top 100. So there's 4 albums like right in a row that all made my top 100. I love all 4 albums are really good. And lately, his albums haven't been as good for me. Though Egypt Station, I need to listen to more because I know Beatle fans really love, or Paul McCartney Beatle fans really love that album. And there are some good songs on there. I guess I need to give some more listens to it. But yeah, so yeah, I just love this era of Paul McCartney. Just really killing it, like I said, musicianship wise and songwriting and everything. So overall, the album went number 6 in the US and number 10 in the UK. So top 10 album both times, of course. Paul McCartney, I think he would always sell albums just because of his name. He just came out with McCartney 3 like a year ago, and I'm sure it's still sold, even though he's like almost 80 years old at that time. But yeah, so let's get to my top 3 favorite songs on here. Number 3, I'm going with Jenny Wren, one of the singles I talked about. A really great acoustic picking number, you know, that Paul McCartney's so good at when you think of, you know, Blackbird, Yesterday, Calico Skies. I mean, he's absolute best when it comes to picking I call it guitar picking, you know, not just strumming, but just picking the notes. And Jenny Wren's really beautiful song, I think. It's a little slow paced, but I love the vocal work on there and the acoustic guitar on there. And I think Paul McCartney even said like he wrote the song kind of playing Blackbird, and then he played Blackbird like backwards or something, and came up with this kind of guitar thing for Jenny Wren. So it's kind of interesting how it's connected to some of his other work. But yeah, great song, Jenny Wren, number 3. Number 2 is Anyway. It's the closer of the album, like I said. It's just a really great piano piece, very soft, great vocal work again from Paul McCartney, and the chorus is just absolutely excellent. Great orchestra music put in there. Yeah, just a great way to close the album. And number one is a song called, and again, these aren't like huge songs in Paul McCartney's career, but just very solid in my opinion. And number one is This Never Happened Before. And man, I just love the melody of the song and just the way he phrases the words. And, this never happened before. I'm not doing it right, but I'm trying to think of the lyrics, but I'm very sure this never happened before. Like the way he does those lines, I just absolutely love it. And now I'm sure this never happened before. It's kind of like that, anyways. But just the way he moves the line, his vocals move up and down during the song. It's very catchy. Really great chorus. A really good love song, in fact, I would say. Lovers, we never do it alone. And it's I'm just thinking some of the lyrics in my head without looking at them. I can remember. But anyways, but yeah, really great. A lot of great orchestra music in there. Again, I keep saying that. I love orchestra music combined with, someone like Paul McCartney, acoustic guitars or piano. I mean, so beautiful. Yeah, it's definitely like an underrated song, I guess, in his catalog. I don't think he never plays it in concert. Like I've seen him in concert and I've seen concert footage. Never plays a song. It's like one of the songs he never plays any of these songs on this album, in fact. And it's like, man, such a good album, so many good songs, but obviously there's so many good songs in Paul McCartney's discography, you can't get to them all, so you have to pick and choose. But I'm always like, man, I'd love to hear one of these songs in concert. It's so good. In fact, this never happened before. I remember I saw a movie called, it was a Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock movie. I want to say called The Lighthouse or something like that. And there's a part in the movie where I was watching this in theaters, and there's part of this movie where the song starts playing, and I'm like, yes, I love this song. And like maybe like the movie even more. My sister Abby probably tell me the name of the movie. I forget exactly what it's called. It's not The Lighthouse, but it's a something house. Anyways, but decent romantic comedy. Anyway, so I remember hearing that song in there and just immediately like, man, I like this movie even more now because it has one of my favorite Paul McCartney songs in it. But yeah, so yeah, that's my top 3 favorite songs. Definitely check those songs out. Check this album out. Paul McCartney, one of the best of all time. My favorite musician or singer-songwriter of all time. So always love his stuff and listening to it. And he's still going on. I guess he can still make albums. He's still alive, so who knows? He seems like he loves writing songs and playing them and arranging them. So he might go on till he's 100. We'll see. But yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Number 38 on my list, Chaos and Creation in the Backyard. Came out in 2005. And just, yeah, thank you for liking it, watching it. Thank you to all the subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a good day.